get started here like in just a sec. Hang tight. Hang tight, hang tight. Whoa, happy Sunday night, everyone. It's Marshall. Thanks for tuning in. It's August 27th, Sunday night, about 9 p.m. Mountain Time. Welcome to the live stream. I'm going to do some work on the song. I've worked on the last couple of live streams here. Basically, I think I've got a lot of the composition done. There's still some stuff I need to do, but since I've got a lot of the audio coming from live instruments in the studio here, I'm going to bounce out the audio for the Mini Moog, then the Slim Fatty over here, and am I using anything else? Yes, I'm using the Sub 37 as well for some stuff. So I'm going to bounce those out, get the stems for those, so we're not having to keep pulling them off of the actual. I've had all the gear turned on for the last like 2 weeks. Yeah, so I'm going to bounce those out, and then we're going to keep working on the song here. Well, actually, we'll see where we get at that point, but usually one of the things I've noticed, you know, I've got stuff kind of mixed roughly based on what it all sounds like from the instruments live. And a lot of times after I bounce out the track to get the stem, you kind of have to go through and kind of remix the song a little bit. So anyway, so that's what I've got to do at this point. So because I'm going to be coming off of my live studio monitor, so I can hear things a little better than just using the cans here, I won't be able to talk. So if you have questions, you come in during the live stream, or you want to say anything, etc., I can still pop in and out with the mic. I just have to mute the song temporarily to do that, so you don't get massive distortion or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna get working on this. So thanks again for watching, and if you're interested in this and other things that I do, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I do live streams every Sunday, mostly every Sunday anyways, and yep, some other various videos pop up from time to time, especially synth news and some demos here and there. So anyway, here we go. I'm gonna switch over here, and I'm gonna play kind of what this sounds like right now, and then I'll start kind of working. So thanks again for watching. yeah, so I just screwed that up royally, so I'm gonna start over. And there's actually a couple of changes that I made in the actual arrangement in here that I have not translated back over in here, which is not a huge deal, but and then also I'm trying to render out another project for a different YouTube channel at the same time here, so it's probably taxing on the system a little bit more than usual. So I apologize for the stuttering in the track, but here, I'm just going to turn this off, and we're going to move that back there, and I'm just going to play the arrangement for it. Okay, so that's where we're at. So yeah, a few things I've done in here. I used a Roland Cloud plugin. I used the D50 right here for that arpeggio. And this thing sounds fucking awesome. Right? Now I'm doing an arpeggiator sequence. And I'm gonna do some videos on these in more in depth here pretty soon. But basically, the D50 and some of the other legendary plugins are really sound fucking spot on. But they are kind of unstable at times. Like if I go through and switch some patches on here, sometimes the patch doesn't load. You cannot be like playing anything and switch patches. You have to like wait for it to stop, then switch the patch, wait for it to load, then most of the time it works. But if you are in the middle of doodling, like doing some little noodles on the keys there, and you try and switch patches, especially with this one, I've noticed that it will fuck up the patch selection for some reason. So anyway, but this does have like a nice what is the editor that came out for this? The PPG? I can't remember what the fuck it's called. Not PPG. Anyway, there was a separate editor that came out for the D50, and this kind of emulates that, at least from what I understand. It looks a lot nicer than just trying to do old school menu diving in the D50. So anyway, I was playing around with those Roland Cloud plugins, and yeah, so decided to use the D50 in here. So that was new. Sub 37, I added a noise sweep. I'm not sure if I had that in the last one or not. And then I built an Omnisphere riser from scratch in the last live stream, so that's still in here. Slim Fatty is playing this is one that we're going to capture the stems from. So if we just solo this and play it. Alright, sorry, it's all weird because this is one of the things I don't like about Ableton is I cannot, through the options in here, independently route outputs like you can in something like Pro Tools using your hardware setup. So, input output config. So I've got 7 and 8 outputs activated on my 003 rack. 1 and 2 is coming through my primary monitors in here, and then 7 and 8 is being routed out to the Behringer XR12, which is feeding the audio from my microphone, and then also this for the live stream. So anyways, it's all stupid. But what you have to do for that is I set up a separate channel, and I basically am just sending it audio from the master channel, and it's going out to external outputs 7 and 8. But it has to be enabled. So like if I start soloing shit like I was just doing, you won't hear it because it has to be soloed as well. So if I just solo like this or like this, you can't, that's not active, so you have to do the old control S, or control and then click on the S kind of thing, so you have multiple things soloed. So anyway, that's why this is here. This will come out obviously when the track's done. But yeah, this is coming along really nice. I'm digging the song. So I guess what we'll do first here is I'll export the Slim Fatty audio, and since this is mono, I'm just gonna put this in the center channel. We're gonna mute that one, and this has a little arpeggio on it here as well, so we'll just leave that running. And because I have these grouped, my effects are actually on the grouped output, so I don't have to worry about turning those off. Normally I would take all the effects off, and so I get a nice dry stem. So yeah, so we'll just do this, and we're gonna just freeze the track and let it do its thing. And you know, I don't know, I'm not hearing anything. So we'll see what happens. And I don't know if you guys will be able to hear this or not even. Doing the bounce. The bounce, bounce, bounce. Oh, I switched my microphone. Oh, fuck. Actually, while we're waiting on this to bounce out, let me show you guys. I've been doing some 3D printing in the other room. Yeah, you guys might hear it through both. Anyway, 3D printing for my mobile rig. I'll just kind of show you where that whole project's at. It's been taking forever. This is the entire top section, all done. I need a little finish work in this area. I did crack this already when I was putting it together, but it's all together. And it doesn't look super awesome, but I'm going to do some plasti dip on this, so it's kind of rubberized and it will be black. Yeah, it fits. This is my little monitor in here. It'll slide right out, slides in, fits nice and secure. Got access to my I/O here, and then one of the things I had forgotten about when I was making this was access to the buttons. I had not printed this piece yet, so I was able to make that change in Onshape and print it out and put it together. So that's the top. The top's all done. And I have a hex input here, or hex shape that I put in here for, I'll probably get a shoulder bolt and put it through here. And I have like a little wing that'll, I'll be tightening on this. And that should hold this in place. And the bottom half, I've got halfway done. This is the bottom half, and this is my little Harrier monitor that'll go here. This is what will have the what's being played on my LED curtain thing. Again, this looks like ass. I'm not sure if I had some issues, like, so with this one, the way it printed, I think I was doing something funky with the infill, possibly. I'm not sure. Temperature stuff. You can see I got like some weird clumping over here, but the second piece came out much better, other than this weird like band here. But all this, again, doesn't matter. It's going to get kind of sanded and then plasti dipped as well. So the other half here, as soon as that's done, this will be all done. And this goes in here. I have access to my power switch, and the DC power supply will connect here. So anyway, this is coming along nice, and this is going to look really cool. This all sits up. The reason for this is because the height of this here is the exact height of my 3D printed like equipment table, which has a couple of Ableton pushes and a mixer in there. So this way, this shit's not just sitting super low on the table when I'm performing. It'll be at the exact same height as everything else. It'll look nice. I'm fucking excited. So yeah. So it's taken hours. These pieces took 20 hours each, roughly. Oops, and I'm hitting microphones, that's bad. But yeah, about 20 hours each for these. The other ones were anywhere between, I think they were like 10 hours. They're a little smaller. Well, there's a lot. they're not as thick. This is like 3 inches thick, whereas the other ones are, I don't know, maybe 2 inches or something. So it's a slow process regardless. It's a big pain in the ass. So yeah, but let me show you how this is gonna kind of work. So on here, there's a little shoulder, and it's a kind of a circular thing with the through hole that is gonna go on like this, and there we go. That will clip in here, and the other side will clip in, and then it'll be kind of a hinge mechanism so that I can, you know, I'm trying to show you, it's hard to do, but yeah, it's gonna be the shit. Alright, let's see where it bounces at here. I can still hear it. And I'm gonna freeze these first, just in case I need to go back for whatever reason. And what I'll do is, in my save states, I usually save. I'll save like an original one with all the MIDI, then I'll do a save with all the freezes, and then I'll do another one where all the freezes have been flattened. So that way I've got multiple stages I can go back to for whatever reason. You know, so anyway, this is just a long, boring process. Yeah, I haven't seen any real crazy synth news out in the last week or two. I saw there was some kit somebody was putting out to kind of build a Moog style Mother 32. And actually I thought about picking up a Mother 32 like a week or two ago, but I kind of looked at it and, you know, it seems super limited in terms of the connectivity for control. I think it's only got a regular densing MIDI port on it and no USB. So, I mean, that doesn't really fit my workflow very well. I want something that's got input and output. Even if it's regular densing MIDI, I don't care, as long as you got both directions. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter on that. I don't know. I just didn't. I thought about it and I was like, you know, I can't do it. So I didn't do it. But yeah, if you've got a Mother 32, let me know what you think. I think they sound fucking awesome. But yeah, I saw someone put out a kit for one that's kind of like a clone of it. That was kind of the only thing I read recently. Sorry, and I'm sleepy. I don't know if I'm gonna sit here and make you guys fucking just sit here while I bounce the shit out. I do. Maybe I can have a little bit of fun with something here in a second. Let's see. Well, let me get at least the Mini Moog Model D bounced out here. I don't know. I've been dicking around with the HoloLens here again lately. They have this cool app on there called ActionGram, and you can add holograms into your surrounding environment that kind of do shit. I've been trying to think of cool ways to maybe add. I mean, my DeepMind 12. I did a HoloLens DeepMind 12 video where I literally, and I'm gonna mute that one. Sorry, I just duplicated these so I can kind of get them back to where they were, here and here, there. Now these are frozen, so nothing will play. You know, it's kind of like it's like purgatory for audio files. Like, it's in between MIDI and audio. I mean, technically, I guess it's audio, but you can revert back to MIDI very easily if you need to. So yeah, let's go over here. And now the Mini Moog is my baseline, and it does not have. So here's what I'm gonna do on this one. I'm gonna duplicate this. Okay, and that way I can take all my shit, all this stuff, and turn it off by deleting it. And now I still have this one, which is still groovy and good to go. And then we're gonna go ahead and freeze this track. Depending on how loud this is, I might have to mute my microphone. I think that's plenty quiet. So yeah, I have been doing some development on the HoloLens. I have a game. It's basically air hockey, and I might demonstrate that on. I don't know if I'll do it on this channel. Maybe on my gaming channel, which is called Console Nerds. Yeah, there's some weird shit with the way the physics is working, and I don't know if it's a deal with Unity or maybe something with the HoloLens. What do they call it? Essentials something. They give you a package of some scripts and stuff that you can kind of use for controls and etc. And spatial mapping for the environment. But I think there was some kind of weird bug, and that's when I kind of stopped, because it's like they were coming out with new iterations all the time. So I'm gonna have to check that out, see if that was something, because everything from what I could tell was programmed correctly, but I'd have something where you would pick up a paddle and the paddle would not, like, you could pick it up and you could kind of move it around, but if you dropped it, it would like not detect the room boundaries, if that makes sense. So it would like fall straight through your floor, and you know that's not right. So yeah, and then doing some basic troubleshooting on that, I couldn't really pinpoint it, so I think it was a bug in that release of either the HoloLens kits or there's a special version of Unity that I'm using for that. So yeah, I jumped on there the other day. There's some Actiongram stuff, pretty cool. I thought about maybe throwing the HoloLens on here and having like a dragon fly around. They have this like cool dragon thing. It'll breathe fire and shit. And since it's Game of Thrones season finale night, which after I get done recording this live stream, that's why I'm gonna jump off and watch that. So weird. It's a good show. It's one of those shows that like I thought I would not like because I'm not into the whole medieval fucking dragons and slayers and kings and queens shit. But it's done so well. It's really good. So I've been watching it since season 3. Fucking dope. Dope! So you're hearing the other one play back because that has also been frozen. But what's actually being captured right now is the Mini Moog Model D. Which is right over here. Fucking love that thing. Can't wait to get the Behringer D and the Roland SEO2. I got all 3 of those. I'm gonna line all of them up, man, and I'm gonna just go to town, do some oscilloscope stuff. You know, the thing is you may be able to match the Mini Moog oscillators. It'd be really interesting just to see if the character, if it behaves like a Mini Moog. You know, or if the Behringer and the SEO2 are kind of... The SEO2, I think, is going to be really different because it just seems like, even from the demos I've heard, you can get Mini Moog style shit out of it if you want, I guess, but it has features that kind of take it beyond, like with the cross mod and all that kind of shit. So that'll be real fun. I think I'm more excited for that than the Behringer D. But the Behringer D, will be a nice little portable mini Moog, basically, if it lives up to the hype. So far, I mean, the latest demo from Pro Sound, a guy on YouTube, was able to demonstrate, man, it sounded fucking spot on some of the patches he made, but we'll see. We will see. Yeah, I don't know if you can see this here, but I did a little bit of rearranging on the studio desk. This needs to get updated eventually. This is just a stupid fold-out table, but I need to get a nice studio desk here pretty soon. With built-in rack space would be really nice. I would love to have access to something like my patch bay and say like a synth. Yeah, that would be dope. But those are expensive, and I don't know. We'll see what happens in the next year or two. I mean, there's still so many synths. I really like the Guitar Center down the street for me has a. They normally don't have shit in the way of high-end synthesizers. They stopped kind of like carrying them or even having them on display. So I just pretty much stopped buying shit from them. But every now and then I gotta run down there to grab a cable or something. So I was down there a few weeks ago, and to my surprise, they have an Arturia mini, or what is it, Matrix Brute? Pardon me. And I played with that thing, and I fucking love it, man. I really want to get one of those. That might be my next synth buy. I was thinking either that or a Rev 2, maybe a Dave Smith Rev 2, or maybe even get just a Prophet 08, even though, you know, maybe I can get a good deal on one of those. But yeah, so like on my synth hit list, these are synths that I really want to get here in the next few weeks, or, you know, not few weeks, I guess, in the next several months. V-Synth GT or just a V-Synth. I've had each one of those for over the years, and I've sold both, and I miss them. Either one would be fine, but I think if I got the original V-Synth, I would get the XT, which is the rack mount version, because it's got the expansion cards, the Vocal Designer and the D50 cards built into it. If you try and buy those separately, which I think at the time I had them. I had both. I had both like when I had the keyboard style V-Synth in 2007, I think that was. I had both of the cards. I had the Vocal Designer card and the D50 card. And now if you try and buy just the card, it's like $500. You could get one of those V-Synths used on eBay for like $800. So like the card is almost as much as the synth, which is freaking insanity. It's crazy. So just get the XT. I mean, that's kind of what I would do. So either that one or the V-Synth GT. But, you know, either one of those are kind of on my wish list. Nord Wave. The Nord Wave I had a few years ago, and really wish I still had it. It has a comb filter on it that I just fucking love. So, yeah. So those two are kind of old synths that I'd had that I want to get. But then new stuff, either a Rev 2, a Prophet 08, or Arturia Matrix Brute. Kind of on my list, my short list of synths. So, yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, but the way I've got things kind of set up in here now, I rearranged where I've got a couple of boutiques here, the TB03, the TR09. The Nord modular, micro modular. I'm gonna hook this sucker. I mean, it's plugged in and shit, but it's not. Oh man, that sucks. Oh, that's what happens when you start poking things. Your camera falls down. Anyways, this is pretty precarious as it is. This frickin' stand is a piece of shit. There, I think we're kind of good. It's a little crooked, but so don't worry. This fucking display up here is like a shitty Westinghouse, the 1080p monitor, or just, you know, TV basically, that I got for super cheap last year. So I have a Kinect up here that is constantly falling off. I need to 3D print something to keep it mounted up there because I use it as kind of like a cameras for like a video conferencing camera on Skype, and some other things with it. I've tried doing some room scans with it. Because it'd be cool to do a nice fucking mesh like scan of this room and have, like, I saw like what's his name, Kebu's website, his new website, where you can interact with kind of his live rig. I mean, it's not really, it's more kind of gimmicky, where you can select some of his synthesizers and you can hear the parts that they're playing, kind of thing, in a track. So I may kind of copy that a little bit. But I would like to make a VR app for that kind of thing. Not just have it on the web. Although, you know, the web's fine, but I think having an actual VR space to do it, and I think I don't know if I think his will let you do it in VR actually. I don't have any VR shit other than the HoloLens, and well, no, that's a lie. I have a Samsung Gear VR. I forgot about that. But the pricing on everything on that stuff seems to be coming down big time. I saw that the HTC Vive came down another couple $100 to keep pace with the Oculus. But I don't know which one to go with on the VR side. As far as augmented reality or mixed reality, the HoloLens is just nothing that touches it. I have a pair of Epson Moverio BT glasses, and those were out before the HoloLens, and they're kind of an augmented reality type deal. But basically all it is it's just a pair of glasses with a couple little projectors in the lenses, and it works really good if you want to do like FPV stuff for drones. I think it's perfect for that. You can watch some cool movies on it, like if you're on a plane. I think that they're fine for that. But in terms of what the HoloLens can do versus those, it kicks the piss out of them. And I think VR is its own thing and mixed reality is another thing, and they both are really cool in their own ways. But it's not kind of one or the other, in my opinion. I think that both of those technologies are really, really cool. So I would like to build out a little studio to be able to make my own holograms. Like Microsoft has their own like big room with just green screen shit, and several cameras are all synced up to do kind of a 360 scan and capture of a subject, whether it's a person or whatever. So that's how they made all their shit in the Actiongram app on the HoloLens. But I would like to kind of build something like that in a small space where I could scan people, or what I'd really like to do is scan my synths. That'd be cool. We'll see. Probably a pipe dream. So that thing's almost done bouncing out. And it's like fucking paint dry. Watching paint dry right now. Oh, and I switched my microphone back to my condenser mic. I took the shotgun mic off. I think I get a little bit better sound quality off of this vocal condenser. And what happened was there was two other computers in this room. Right now there's just my two. There's the one that does all the video capturing shit, and then there's the one that I use for music production. But then there was two more. I had one that was, it's my 24-hour streaming server for Overclocked Music, which is my record label, and then a second computer even that ran a separate video feed for for the Overclocked Music YouTube page, which is a 24-hour. It's the same feed, just one's just audio, goes out to like TuneIn and some of the other like internet radio station aggregators, and then the other one is YouTube. So like you can go on YouTube and watch the Overclocked Music live stream, which is the same thing that you would get if you went to tune in or whatever. Anyway, those two machines are now in my work office for my real job where I make real money. I don't make hardly any money on any of this stuff yet, but maybe one day. But yeah, so those are in a different room now, but they were just so noisy that that shotgun mic is very specific field of pickup, or I guess, I don't know what you would call that. So it would kind of filter out some of the room noise with the fans and shit. You could probably still, this thing probably is picking up the fan from the DeepMind 12 over here. But it's a little bit better, my opinion, in picking up vocals. So I switched back over to that today since everything else has been moved over. So, okay, so we got the Mini Moog. So, and actually this one I can flatten because I still have my, this is like my backup one now, right? So we'll shut off the MIDI one that plays to the Mini Moog, and then what we'll do is I'll take my effects chain, which is here, and I'll copy it and paste it in here. Bam, there we go. So, and I'm going to do a separate save as, and we'll call this. So originally, I mean, when I was dicking around with this, I don't know why I called it the WannaCry, like that WannaCry virus that was encrypting everyone's computer files. I don't think I'm going to call the song that, but sometimes when you're making shit, you just think of a weird name, and that's what it is right now. So I'm going to call this WannaCry 4 with freezes. There we go. And let's see. So Omnisphere, Massive, Play, Serum, Slim Fatty. So we got our freezes of the Slim Fatty. Sub 37. How about we do a freeze on this one? So this is, again, since this is mono, we just have the one, so we'll duplicate this one and shut that one off, and then we'll delete our effects chain in here so we get a nice clean raw stem, and then we will freeze and flatten this guy. And then I'll probably just jump off for tonight. I mean, I've still got more to do on this, but yeah, I mean, this part of the song making process is kind of like, this is where I'm getting close to being done. So I'm kind of starting to bounce out stuff I know is not going to change, like my bass line. Some of these other effects are not going to change. So some of the other plugins to free up some resources and stuff, I'll probably go through and bounce some of those out that I know are going to be, they're done. I'm not going to touch them other than, you know, the final mix elements in terms of EQing and compression and stuff like that to get them where I want it in the mix, kind of thing. But yeah, oh, there it is. Sounds like a spaceship taking off. Yeah, so yeah, it's coming along good, I think. This track's hopefully it will be very nice once I get it all nice and polished up. And that second build in the track, I think, needs a little bit more work still. So I'll be experimenting with a few things on that. So I'm hoping by the next live stream, hopefully it'll be almost done. Let's see, when will that be? It'll be the 3rd, and actually on the 10th. On the 10th, I'm not going to have a live stream on the 10th because I will be in Rhode Island for my job. So, and I will be back the week after. You know, I'll be back for the 17th. But yeah, so just keep that in mind, I guess. I'll try and see if I can get a video together that I can have auto release on the 10th, but Plus, that's the day the Orville starts on Fox. Fuck, Orville looks so fucking awesome. It's like Galaxy Quest, like in real life on TV. Yep, so just bouncing tracks out. I wonder. I don't think I'm set up for it. I was gonna say I could throw some Street Fighter on, play some fucking Street Fighter on the Switch over here, but I don't think I have that routed correctly for that at the moment. It's like behind the Mini Moog, I have a little mini console set up over there. I've got a Nintendo Switch and an NES Classic. And I had been using, there's like a little HDMI switcher, not a switcher, splitter that runs through my big display over here. And then I had another feed running out into a capture card in the PC down here. But it, because I was doing the classic DAW stuff, old school Pro Tools, what was it, Pro Tools 5.11 or whatever, and that 001 audio interface, and the friggin' serial port MIDI thing, MIDI man, that was cool. Anyway, that's all been set up for that, and yeah, if I was gonna hook up the Switch to the splitter, it's not easy right now, so I'm not gonna do that. But I'm bored when I do the bouncing. Ow, and I'm hitting my knee. So you have the new Roland Boutiques that came out on 808 Day, the TR08 and the SH01A. I think the boutique format is fucking awesome for drum machines. Like the TR09 over here, perfect. I think the TB03 perfect for this form factor. I don't know about the other ones. Like I was thinking about, because I see that they're on sale. Like I saw the JP or the JX03 or whatever, and the Judo 06. I saw them on sale, and I think I know they're supposed to be kind of limited edition, so I don't know how many they're gonna make, but they may be nearing the end of their run. Because right before they stopped with the Mini Moog Model D, I saw those went on sale for like $500 off, and that's when I grabbed one. So instead of paying $3,500 for my Mini Moog Model D, I paid $3 grand. It was pretty good. But so I'm kind of seeing that with the Behringer Boutique. Some of those are going on sale. I thought about picking one up, but because I got the Roland Cloud, it has all of those synths in there. It's got the Jupiter 8, it's got the 106, it's got what? Actually, I don't know if it has the JX3P or whatever that other one is. We could check. Rolling Cloud. Oops. Oh, come on. There we go. I can't remember what the other synths are in here now. Oh fuck. Yeah, the System 8 and the System 1 on here sound really good. Like, I kind of want a System 8 now after But I mean, at the same time, if I can get the fucking plug-in, do I really want to use up the shelf space? So yeah, the 106 System 100. Yeah, so maybe they don't have the X3OP or whatever. Fuck, I can't remember what the other one is. Let's go on eBay and find out. I'm trying to get my hands on a Super Nintendo Classic when that thing comes out. Hopefully I get lucky and can snag one, but I've got all these tabs open on here for all the retailers that are supposed to do pre-orders, and they fucking did pre-orders like 2 weeks ago in the middle of the fucking night. Like 3 in the morning. Like, who's up at 3 in the morning for that shit? Let's see, was it JX03? Yeah, see, these are 199 bucks now. These were, I want to say they were 300 before. Let's see if they're what they're going for in Sweetwater. So this one's not in the Rolling Cloud, so maybe worth getting this one. Oops, it's 03. Yeah, this shit's on sale for 9 more days. I mean, and the thing about this one is it's got knobs. So the thing that's worried me about the synth modules, like the JP08, is that, you know, the slider, it's got sliders instead of knobs. And I know that that's because it's supposed to kind of look like a Jupiter 8, but come on, it's tiny. JP08. Yeah, see, this was, yeah, so they're 100 bucks off right now. So I guess if you are in the market for a boutique, any in the original boutique line, probably a good time to get one. But yeah, these little tiny sliders on here, or faders, just look, I mean, look at that cutoff. You know, that's probably just like the end of my finger, you know, for that. I don't know. That's why I haven't bought any of those. But I always thought the TR09 perfect, TB03 perfect, TR08 looks fucking awesome. I think it'd be fine in a boutique. The SH01A, I don't know. I kind of don't care about the SH101, so it doesn't bother me. It'd be cool if they came out with the D50 boutique. That'd be pretty dope. Roland's done like several attempts to re-emulate the D50. Not re-emulate, but emulate the D50. They did it in the V-Synth. And then there was the other one. Fuck, I can't remember. It was like a little module, and you could get the D50, what was in the V-Synth on that. I can't remember. Varios, I think is what it was called. And I don't think it was a particularly great emulation of the D50. That also had like a TB303 filter in it, which I had used in the past in some older stuff, but it wasn't very good either. I think that the TB3 that they came out with a couple years back in the was it Era line? Ira? I don't know how you say it. That is great. The TB03 is even better. So maybe they'll team up with some analog manufacturer and make us an analog 303, and I'd be in freaking heaven, because that's one of my favorite synths ever. So I think this is almost done. Yeah, it's kind of funny when you go back through and you start bouncing shit out in Ableton, because when you don't have the effects on through the bounce process, because the way sometimes I'll mix and I'll use the compressor to help adjust levels in a way, if that makes sense. So like right now you can hardly hear the bass, and like this sweep is super loud. You know what I'm not hearing is the Slim Fatty. I don't hear the Slim Fatty melody. Yo, Cow Food, what's up, man? Cow Food's in the chat. He said the Avalon is a 303 clone to get. And that's a good point, I should get one. Yeah, I think definitely for drum machines, the because they don't have sliders. They're all knobs pretty much, right? So I think they're perfect for drum machines. Hey Calfo, have you tested out any of the Rolling Cloud stuff? Okay, cool. So now we've got all these. I'm gonna flatten this one. Flatten that bitch like a pancake. And then I'm gonna snag my effects chain on this one. And so we're muted there. Alright, now. Ta-da! And I'm gonna do a save. Are there any other live synths that I need to bounce? I've got the Mini Moog. This is Omnisphere in here, I think. Yep. This one, Silent, so I don't need to worry about that one yet. Play for the choir, Serum. Let me just make sure that's Serum. Sometimes I'll start off using a plugin and then switch to a piece of gear and not remember. And then the D50 app. Okay, so that should be good. Oh, yeah, so Cowfoot said he hasn't tried the Rolling Cloud. Yeah, you should, when you get a chance, sign up on there. It's free. You don't need a credit card. And you can kind of sample the VSTs they have. They seem pretty good, but they're kind of buggy. Like the ones I tried, not all of them, but especially like the D50. Like going through switching patches, it would like freak out sometimes, and the patch wouldn't switch, and yeah, it was a pain in the ass. But I think that they sound really good, and because it looks like I think they have several of the same synths that are in the boutique line because they use them as plug outs. It's pretty sweet. So anyway, let me mute my mic here. I'm just going to see how these sound after being bounced a little bit, and then I'm probably going to jump off. But yeah, hang on here and we'll test it out. And voila. So that's where we're at right now. I'm going to go ahead and save this. So we've bounced out pretty much all we did today. And I apologize because while I was doing that kind of playback, I needed to remove the hi-hat from this section. And then also there was a section, because some of the stuff I had changed in the arrangement view, but in the clip mode I needed to make the same changes. There was one of the kind of main lead lines that I needed to remove from here as well. So when I was doing that on the hi-hat, it like freaked out the system and it froze. So it kind of played funky. But anyway, yeah, so that's with the bounced out mini Moog stem, the sub 37 stem, and the slim fatty stem. So those are the three actual hardware synths I'm using in this track right now. All the other stuff is VST. So I think I'm gonna leave it here for now. I'm gonna go back through and bounce out all, well, the problem is right now, the reason why the system kept kind of fucking up is I'm bouncing out this other, not bouncing out, but I'm rendering a video in the background from After Effects for something else, and it steals resources. So anyway, yeah, so I need to go through, and that second build, which is kind of the main, I guess it's supposed to be the big one, it needs a little more work. And then I'll bounce out a few things I know aren't going to change, work on the mix a little bit more, and we'll kind of go from there. But yeah, it's coming out nice. I'm digging it. Cow Food says he thinks it's turning out good, so appreciate that, Cow Food. It's like I think it's going to be hopefully really good when it's all done. So it's a work in progress still, but not too shabby, I would say. Could be worse. Could be just a lump of shit. Maybe somebody thinks it is a lump of shit. I don't know. But, you know, we'll see when it's done. Judge it when it's done. Yep, so I'm going to take off. Go watch some Game of Thrones season finale. What? That's how we do it around here. So I want to appreciate, well, I do want to appreciate everyone that watches the show, but I want to especially appreciate the folks that showed up for the live stream and say thank you to them, and also for participating in the chat. We got Cow Food in there. Yeah, and I'll be back next weekend, next Sunday. Sunday. I'm going to try and get another video out during the week, just a regular video that's not a live stream. We'll see if I can get the time together to do something. So anyway, yeah, I'm rambling, but you guys have a good weekend, have a good week, and I'll see you guys back here. Adios.